And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Monday, January 20th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on a Monday. We have made it till now, and glad to have you with us. A little bit cold out there this morning, but I got an idea that Jonathan Manning welcomes the cold. Jonathan, good morning.
We do. Good morning, Coleman.
We're going to talk about Absolute Kubota, of course. Jonathan's in sales there. Are you sales manager? Is that your title?
Chief cook and bottle washer. I do it all.
Well, for sure you're in sales, and so is Don Hamlet.
That's right.
The two of you work together. But we do start every Monday morning off with a representative from Absolute Kubota. Absolute Kubota specializes in the sale of Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, and RTVs. They also carry Exmark mowers. Exmark is one of the top-selling zero-turn mowers in the country, and they're located in the same building as Absolute Rental and Supply, which specializes in tool and equipment rental. Again, Jonathan Manning is with us today. Absolute Kubota is open right now from Monday through Friday, that is, from 7 to 6. So they just opened 7 to 5. I shouldn't be reading. I should be thinking. It'll be 7 to 6 before you know it.
Yeah.
Daylight saving time
right.
Starts what? First week in March, I believe.
I believe that's correct.
Anyway, from now to then, and since we've been on standard time, you've been open until 5 in the afternoon. But 7 to 4 on Saturdays, that's the same year round.
That's correct.
All right. And they're located at 1325 West Main and Lebanon behind Advanced Auto Parts. Just look for their big sign. Look for the orange tractors. Their phone number is 615-449-6171. And the website is www.absolutekubota.com. You can also check them out on Facebook. All right, that's the official thing that we do every week, just to make sure we get it all covered.
That's right.
And the rest of the time, we can talk about whatever we want to.
That's right. That's right. Well, I know everybody's got a lot of mowing on their mind. They're thinking about new mowers for the spring, and just wanted to kind of touch base on basically some questions that we get asked all the time. You know, what size mower is right for my yard? Mm-hmm. And you can get online and you go to Exmark's website, Kubota's website, and they'll say, hey, the Z100 is good for up to 2 acres. The Z400 is good for up to 4 acres. You know, the commercial grades, the Z700 series in the Kubota line is good from anywhere from 0 to infinity acres, you know. So I encourage everybody, if you're looking for a mower this spring, to get on Exmark.com or KubotaUSA.com and find the mower that's right for you. So
now, each one of them has their strong points.
They do.
I think Exmark has established quite a reputation. I suppose Kubota has too, but we somehow it seems the ultimate in lawn mowing is Exmark.
And that's a lot of the Exmark is because of their cut. When it cuts, that machine just is a beautiful, pristine cut when it's finished. There's not grass laying on top of what you've cut. It's mulched up. It's gone. It's fallen back into the grass. And that deck that's on that Exmark is patented by Exmark. So there's no other mower that can use that design. Mm-hmm. A lot of other mowers have what we call an open deck design underneath there. And what you've got to do is you would have to install a baffling kit or a mulch kit in order to get that cut to look just like an Exmark.
So it kind of depends then, at least partly depends on what kind of finished product, what kind of cut you want. If you're not really concerned about the great job that Exmark does, then the Kubota is probably maybe a little less expensive and will get the job done.
Correct. That's exactly where I go with everybody, because there's a lot of people that are like, look, I'm mowing a farm, man. I don't live in some of these really nice subdivisions where the large, they're manicured, they're beautiful. Yeah. That's not what we do. We just want to get out there and get it cut efficiently. So that's where the Kubota steps in. I can save you a lot of money. Great financing offers on the Kubotas, competitive warranties. And, we got your other side of the spectrum, people coming in as like, I want my yard to look like a golf course. So you need to go to an Exmark, and both machines cut great. There's a purpose for each machine.
That's probably why you ask a lot of questions.
That's correct.
To get the right fit.
Absolutely. And that's one thing, we try to not necessarily take control of the conversation, but I want to make sure that we're going to put you in the right machine the first time. Yeah. I want to ask questions to make sure that, we're the right size deck. Will it fit through your gates? Will it fit in your storage building? Will it fit in your garage? You know, a lot of guys come in there like, man, that'd be sweet to get my yard done with a 72-inch mower. We get it home and it won't fit. So, you know, it's us guys, we're typical, bigger the better, right?
Yeah.
So, but which, you know, we try to make sure that, you know, it'll fit on your trailer. That's another thing that we've experienced. You know, people come in, they buy a 60-inch mower and it won't fit on their trailer. So
then there's a problem.
Yeah.
You got to get a different mower, another trailer.
Well, the good news is we deliver for free. So,
and then too, if they're in the mowing business, the trailer fit has a lot to do.
It has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, you know, a lot of those guys, they'll haul 2 or 3 machines. So, you know, you've got to make sure that your machine, that you know your stuff to make sure you're putting the customer in the right machine. So
we're almost out of time here.
Wow.
We've been talking the last couple of weeks, I guess, about RTVs. It's still a great time.
It is.
But everybody has got to have some kind of a lawnmower. Just about everybody's got to have some kind of a lawnmower.
Yep.
You don't have to have an RTV. Maybe you don't have to have a tractor, but you've
That's
got them
right.
all for whoever needs what.
That's right. And we're going to swap our showroom over about 1st of March. To where it's, you know, nothing but lawnmowers like it typically is through the summertime. But right now we're still in kind of that wintertime showroom where farm is what we're focused on, tractors, side-by-sides, the RTVs and things like that. So if you're in the market for them, we just got a whole 2 truckloads of RTVs in last week. So we have replenished, and come see us.
All right. Well, great to have you as always. Jonathan Manning here for Absolute Kubota, and we'll have you one more time next week, I
That's
believe,
right.
and then
Yes,
it'll be
sir.
February.
Well, thanks, Coleman.
All right, thank you. And that takes us to 10 minutes after the hour here on Monday morning. Want to welcome State Representative Susan Lynn, who is here to talk about the state legislature. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Coleman.
Nice to see you. A little bit on the nippy side out there this morning.
It was snow flurrying in Mount Juliet when I left. It was great.
I had just a little bit of snow on my windshield as I came my 2.5 miles this morning. How you
Bragger.
been? I think I had you here after the legislature ended, and we had the situation with this House Speaker and so on, and you came, and probably the last time you've been with us.
And we elected a new speaker,
Yeah.
Cameron Sexton. He's doing a great job, and I'm very grateful he reappointed me chairman of Finance, Ways and Means Committee, and he has done so many great things. He's upped the ethics. We're going to have an ethics disclosure on our budget amendment forms that we give to the members when they're asking for their budget amendments, which is, I'm ashamed I didn't think of it. Cameron thought of that, and he asked me to do that, and I said, absolutely. Also, we are going to stop having, meetings where lobbyists come in before the actual committee meeting. Lobbyists never came into my meeting, but we would have a meeting before the actual committee meetings and discuss the bills informally. We're going to stop that. All discussion is going to take place in committee, right in front, right on the cameras, all of that. And I think that is a great ethics change.
Well, I'm wondering. I guess there's 2 schools of thought there, but why is one better than the other?
Because people will get to hear the discussion more. The reason why members haven't liked doing that is because, sometimes just to draw out information, a member might like to play devil's advocate. That doesn't mean the member thinks that way. It means the member is saying, okay, what would you say to the other side of this argument? Because there is another side and someone's going to say this and I want to know what your answer is. Doesn't mean they agree with that side. It means they want to draw that out. But members are often afraid that on camera people will interpret that to mean that is the position they take when it's clearly not. But, hopefully everybody will behave professionally and not, take advantage of things like that. He's also repositioned some members. I have a new chairman of Finance Subcommittee, Gary Hicks. He is just such a well-esteemed legislator. I am thrilled to have Gary Hicks as chairman of the Budget Subcommittee. And that's a really great change. Gary's temperament is a very fine temperament. I think he will be very respectful to all witnesses, to all members, and still be able to hold a meeting that just draws out the facts, and so that we can make a decision.
Well, I want to mention one thing before we go to a break here. I did look at your information sent from your office. Got an email last night, and it did talk about that Tennessee has been rated number 1 by U.S. News as far as fiscal stability.
That's right.
And I think every member of the legislature probably ought to be happy with that.
Oh, listen, we are just so proud. It's been a lot of hard work. And when I look at it, we've really had 10 years now of Republican leadership. And we have done nothing but make gains and national gains, where when Tennessee state legislators go to conferences and we see legislators from other states, they all ask Tennessee, how do you do it? How are you doing this? We want to do it like you do it. And that does make us really proud. I just think that, the past 2 governors, Haslam and Lee, have just put really great professionals in place for their cabinet. And they've put the best people they can find surrounding them. In the legislature, we have the full support of our speakers. Our speakers have been, really brilliant people. You're looking at Beth Harwell, now Cameron, just really brilliant people. When you hear, I'm going to have Cameron come to Wilson County, and when you hear him speak, just about on any topic, he can just go on and give facts and give you an understanding of a topic because he genuinely understands it, and he's just a terrific guy. But yes, we were recognized as Tennessee is the #1 ranking state for fiscal stability. We're very, very proud of that ranking, and that just means that Tennessee is a fiscally strong state. And that's what we want to be, right?
All right. We need to take a break right here. State Representative Susan Lynn is my guest here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. And it's all brought to you by Bates Ford. Regular oil change, only $28.95. That includes up to 5 quarts of oil, tax, and disposal. $16.73. West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic still holding up out here as far as really bad interstate accidents. Now, we had that earlier one that's since been cleared on the Solomon Evans Bridge. That's 24 westbound before you get to Shelby. Now, finishing up a wreck going westbound, like 40 between Briley and Charlotte Pike. The heavy slow is coming eastbound because you've got all that traffic on 40 East now coming out of Dixon County up through Kingston Springs. Hey, be sure to check out Ober-Gatlinburg's Ober-Rocks 2020. It's happening this Saturday. All the details now at obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
John Boyce here from the Scoreboard Show. For the first time ever, we will be extending the Scoreboard Show to include all of Wilson County High School and college basketball. Trent Perry and I will give you all the basketball scores from the county, as well as interviews from the coaches every Friday night from 9 to 11 right here on WANT FM 98.9. The Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Designers Carpet, Absolute Kubota, Kay Maynard with State Farm Insurance, Sheriff Robert Bryan and Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, Dickey's Barbecue, and Southeast Motorsports.
When it comes to tough, versatile workhorses, nothing compares to Kubota's full line of RTV Series utility vehicles. Kubota's RTV X Series doesn't just lead the way on rugged dependability. It leads the pack. Right now, you can get 0 down and 0% APR financing for up to 48 months. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information. Stop by Absolute Kubota at 1325 West Main Street in Lebanon or call them at 615-449-6171.
Coleman and Company here on this Monday morning. It's a holiday for some, but certainly not for everybody, not for us. And State Representative Susan Lynn is here. I want to thank you. You probably could have slept later this morning.
No. I get up at 4:45 every day, so don't worry about it.
All right. Okay.
It's the drive. You brag about your 2-mile drive or 2-minute drive.
No, it's about 2.5 miles, and it takes me 8 or 10 minutes. Depends on whether the traffic lights, there's 2 of them, whether they're red or green.
Well, this morning was a fine morning because it's a holiday, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and there was very little traffic out there, so it was nice.
Well, I know that you're interested in the budget. You were telling me during the break here, you already got plans to, I think, speed things up and,
That's right.
and move right
That's right.
along.
Yes, I've been on finance for a long time, and we always had budget hearings during session. But the only disadvantage to that was that the budget was already minted by the governor. The governor already came up with his budget, and then we'd hold budget hearings. And so last year I said to the speaker, why don't we hold budget hearings concurrent with the governor's budget hearings, and then we can have more of an effect on the budget. We can really be our participant, help to mold and shape this budget. And so Cameron was all for it. He said, go for it. So we did. I held budget hearings in November and December, and they were basically concurrent with the governor's budget hearings. And I got such great feedback. The Commissioner of Finance Administration and many of the other commissioners, they didn't know what to expect. They didn't know if we were just kind of playing politics. But no. We genuinely want to have a part and have a role and help to shape this budget. When you think about the House, there's 99 members. We are on the ground. We are in our districts, seeing our constituents every single day, weekend. We see everybody. We hear the talk. We know what they're wanting, what the problems are. They called the State Department and this happened or that happened. We can give that feedback, and that's important feedback, and it's especially important feedback when you're molding and crafting the budget. So we had our budget hearings. The House's budget hearings are done. The Senate still has to have their budget hearings. Hopefully they'll see the light and they'll want to have budget hearings like we do. And now going forward, what we're going to do is the governor will give us the budget the first Monday in February. And we will have the State of the State address. He will tell us about his budget. Then I'm going to bring in the Commissioner of Finance Administration and any state departments that are a key role in his new budget, because there's always places where he's doing expansion. And I'm going to bring them back, and then we will do a deep dive on those areas. And instead of holding our budget hearings, which have usually been a frenzy, because there's just so many departments, boards, and commissions that you have to hear from. We have those budgets out of the way. A lot of those budgets kind of stay the same. They don't grow much. In fact, a lot of them shrink. So we are really well positioned to do a good deep dive on this budget when the governor gives it to us. I can tell you.
Let me ask
Sure.
one thing here, because you're talking about having your committee meetings and so on. In November, October, November, or November?
We did in November and December. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You've got people from some faraway places. I mean, all the way from Memphis to Johnson City or whatever. Did you actually have committee meetings at the Capitol, or were they done electronically? Or I wondered how.
Oh no, the members come in. It's done at the Capitol, so they came in. Mm-hmm. We had a long day, 8 a.m. to about 5 p.m. Long day.
How many times did you do this?
We did it
more than once.
Oh, golly, yes, absolutely. Yeah, we did every single State Department board and commission. We did. And like I said, a lot of their budgets, they don't have a lot of asks. They're not asking for a lot. I think what we're going to see is in the governor's budget, I think we're going to see a strong K-3 reading initiative, provided that the commissioner got done what she said she was working on. So a strong K-3 reading initiative. Everybody knows that's very, very needed. I'm very excited about that. We're also going to see some more spending in mental health. We know what works with mental health. We know what works. It's just simply being able to provide the services. It's really hard to keep people because the pay is so low. So also in corrections, really hard to keep people because the pay is so low. 66% of corrections officers in our state prisons don't stay a year. Do you know how hard that is? You know how much training a corrections officer needs, and also a worker for the mental health. They need a tremendous amount of training, and then they leave after they get their training and they go to the private sector and they take, all of that with them to a job in the private sector. We need to keep these people in order to do a better job with what we're trying to get done.
If you're going to keep them, it sounds like you're going to have to pay them more.
we will have to pay them more. And you saw the governor just came out with an initiative about family leave, which is meant to be an enticement. I do think it's a long time, the amount of leave that he's talking about, but he's the governor. It is his prerogative to make that policy. That is a policy decision. So we'll see how that works.
You think you'll be quite a bit of study and dialogue about that?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Another thing that we're going to do is where collections are really up. They're really high. The strange thing is with Tennessee's growth, with our economy doing so well, with all of the things we've done to make Tennessee a very attractive state for business, we have a lot of extra tax revenue. The strange thing is when the state is, having surplus revenues like that, at the same time, our local governments are struggling. And how does that happen? Why does that happen? Because the growth, all the people moving in, put a lot of stress on those local governments, schools, law enforcement, jails, just transportation needs. Emergency services, all of that. And so where the state, is like flush with cash, and we're talking about perhaps doing a 2-month-long sales tax holiday. Or we're talking about cutting taxes, the rest of the taxes on the professional privilege tax. You remember last year, in our budget, we cut out 15 professions from the professional privilege tax. They no longer have to pay it. We left in 4. The governor had me to a meeting week before last, and he said that he wants to cut out the 4 other professions. I don't know that anybody's going to be terribly excited about it other than lobbyists, lawyers, stockbrokers, and doctors. Mm-hmm. They're going to be really excited about that. I don't think too many other people are. So I actually am a sponsor of a bill that would provide for a 2-month sales tax holiday. It would be during the summer so that, families could really reap that savings, because during the summer, they've got their kids all day. They don't get lunches at school and all of that. So let them have that savings on food during the summer months when, they're probably paying the most for groceries. But anyways, the governor's budget, I also think we're going to see capital maintenance, because when you've got the money coming in, you really need to take care of the maintenance needs that you have when you can pay for it. You don't want to bond that. If you can pay cash, you want to pay cash. So, and then of course, like you just said, wages. We are going to address some areas of state government where the wage that's paid is just not attractive enough to compete with the private sector. We can't keep employees, and these are employees that need a high amount of training. And so it's very expensive, and we don't really accrue that institutional knowledge and experience that is so needed and so necessary to do the work that these employees do.
One of the things that was in the email I received from your office had to do with adding the right to work as part of our Tennessee Constitution.
That's right. Okay.
And it also mentioned that there are 27 states that have a right to work law, and 9 of them have made it a part of their Constitution. I guess if we did that, we would be the 10th.
That's right. I'm a co-sponsor of that bill. And yes, so that we are a right to work state, and that would add right to work to our state constitution. In this day and age, you see all the craziness going on. I do think it's a really important thing to put that on the ballot and let the people vote for it.
I don't suppose the labor unions are going to be too thrilled with this and will probably fight it. Would you expect that?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I chaired Consumer and Human Resources Subcommittee for years, and I have battled with labor unions coming at me for a long, long time. So that's okay.
The 2 other things we might just quickly touch on. You mentioned education and you mentioned health care, and I guess that's 2 things you're always concerned with.
Right. Absolutely. And I'm really excited for this K-3 reading initiative that the commissioner is working on. We have a new education commissioner, and she's gotten her, her feet on the ground, and she's made the changes that she wants to make in her department, and she is tackling this real need to make sure we have good readers. Our testing has shown that there's a lot of improvement to be gained in our third graders, because that's when we start testing them. And so if you start working K through 3 and making reading a real initiative, making good readers, that will really help. I know with, my grandchildren, they come over to the house and I have them sit down and read me the book they're reading. I tell my daughter, what book are they reading? Yeah. Send it with them, put it in their backpack when they come over. I just want to hear them read and have them read and really enjoy reading. Little one said to me the other day, I've already read this book. I said, that's okay. I've never heard it. Let's read it again. And children like that anyway.
Well, we're about out of time here. It's going to be good to have you and Representative Clark Boyd alternating Mondays with us. So we'll see you back in 2 weeks. And we got 30 seconds. If there's anything else you want to say quickly this morning.
Yeah, if you got my newsletter, you'll see a few great pictures from the Tennessee Association of Fairs. Representative Ward got to be a Wilson County promotions guest on Saturday night at the Tennessee Association of Fairs dinner. We were not up for any awards because we are such a winning county that they have to take us out of the running every so often because we win so much. So we were not in the running this year, but we'll be back in the running next year. And it's really great to see how the other fairs are performing, and it gives you ideas. It, you can support each other, and we see other state legislators there, and we're all very competitive, I can tell you.
Right. Well, if we had been up for an award, I'm sure we'd have got one, maybe
I have no doubt.
All right. Thanks for being with us today. See you in 2 weeks. State Representative Susan Lynn, and that's part 1 of Coleman and Company. Please keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks, Absolute Kubota and Rental. Fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Red Max, and Billy Goat, 1325 West Main. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We're looking live at this crash over to the right-hand side here on 40 westbound. Before you get to Charlotte Pike, the heaviest flow of traffic in the morning time is eastbound on I-40 as you come in from Kingston Springs, from Dixon County. They're on 40 going eastbound. Again, the wreck is in the westbound lanes. Hey, be sure to check out Over Gatlinburg's Overrocks 2020, January 25th. It's coming up this Saturday. You can check it out over Gatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Do you know why Rocky Williams Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Mount Juliet sells so many cars, trucks, SUVs, and muscle cars? Well, it all starts with a simple idea. Why not give everyone a hassle-free shopping experience for their new or used vehicle with no haggling, no negotiating, and no runaround? Every vehicle on the Rocky Williams lot is marked down incredibly low with the price posted on the window. You're treated with fairness and respect every time. No pressure, just a friendly, warm, inviting staff dedicated to finding the exact vehicle you need. So Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has become the original no-haggle, one-price dealer. Go online to RockyWilliams.com to see the incredible deals yourself. Every car and truck is listed with a no-haggle low price. This is for real, and you're gonna love it. People drive for miles to get some of the lowest prices in America on their new or used cars or trucks. Go to RockyWilliams.com or come on over to our brand new spacious dealership next to Walmart in Mount Juliet.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive right behind Tenova Hospital and see for yourself. You should move here.
You make plans for just about everything for the weekend, for a shopping trip, for your daughter's wedding, but do you have a financial strategy for the rest of your life? Now may be the perfect time to do it. Waypoint, your future, your way. For more information, call the Lebanon office of Waypoint Financial Partners at 615-444-6548. Securities and investment advisory services offered through AXA Advisors, LLC. 212-314-4600. Member FINRA SIPC.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
A cold and sunny start to the week here in Middle Tennessee. We'll see lots of sunshine, but don't let that fool you, as we'll only make it to right around the 30-degree mark. If you're going to be out and about this evening, skies will stay clear. We'll slip on to the mid-teens overnight. The sunshine will stick around through midweek. That's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Nisa Lomax.
It is a Monday morning, a holiday for some, but not for us, and certainly not for Billy Mullinax with the Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Rambler in Mount Juliet. Good morning.
Coleman.
How are you? How was your weekend?
It was very good. Very good. It's kind of finished up on the cold side, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's January.
It is, and we probably need a few cold days and some freezing temperatures to kill some of the mosquitoes for next summer.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, you're located in Mount Juliet, 600 Pleasant Grove Road, Rocky Williams Premier, known for no haggle pricing, where everybody pays the same great low price.
You say it well, Coleman. I'm going to sleep in one Monday morning.
Well, you deserve to if you want to.
No, I'm
You
kidding.
got my blessing.
I'm kidding.
I'll give
going
you
to.
just as much time if you're not here.
Yeah.
I can talk 6 minutes about
Yes,
Rocky Williams.
yes, you could. You could do a very good job at it. But we are known for the no haggle pricing way of doing business, Coleman. And regardless of who you are, who you know, or who you don't know, everybody gets the same great low price, and we give it to you right up front.
That's really something. No matter who it is in the world that comes in there to buy that particular car, they're all going to pay the exact same dollar for it.
That's exactly right.
And that's hard for some people to believe.
Well, it is if they've never bought from us before, and usually once people buy one time, they kind of understand and they like it. I had even a couple of people Saturday that bought vehicles say that it was the best buying experience that they have ever had. It's because
that's probably saying a lot too. They probably bought a number of times.
They were not necessarily young people, so
that's a great compliment.
That is saying a lot, Coleman, because for the most part, buying a car is not something that people just get real excited about doing, because you do have all of the negotiating, the haggling back and forth. And it's usually not a real pleasant thing, and not something that people like to do. But where you know what the price is going to be, it's just a really simple process. Easy way to buy a vehicle, an easy way to sell a vehicle.
Yeah, and the thing to get started is just go to RockyWilliams.com.
Might even see your neighbor there, Coleman.
RockyWilliams.com, where every car that you have on the lot, both new and pre-owned, has that no haggle price, that same great low, that great low price that everybody's going to pay. Whoever gets it's going to pay that, and that it's right there. It's not hidden. There's nothing secret about it. And,
that's right.
That to me says a lot about what you're doing, because you're not ashamed of the price.
That's right.
And it's the same price for everybody, so you don't mind putting it there.
That's right. Well, and Coleman, it's just an honest, fair way to do business. I was looking at somebody's another dealership's website the other day, and in order to get the price, Coleman, to get any price on any car, you had to submit your name, phone number, or email address in order to be able to see a price. Now that's just be honest with people.
That's an invasion of privacy, man.
Well, that's right. And,
I'm being a little facetious, but why should I have to?
That's
why
right.
Can't I just go on and find out what it's going to cost me?
That's exactly right. When you go to the grocery store, you can look and you say, okay, well, if that's 99 cents, 99 cents is what I'm going to pay.
Right.
You don't have to do anything to get a better price unless you have a coupon. And that's what we've done with the automotive industry. We have said this is our best price. It's a great price, and regardless of who you are, if you're a business owner buying 10 vehicles, or if you're a first-time car buyer that's never bought anything, you're going to get the same great low price.
Well, and that pretty much says it all. As we mentioned earlier, today's a holiday for some, but you'll be open the usual hours, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
That's right. We'll be there, Coleman.
Yeah.
We've got the heat on.
Well, probably need it today.
Yes, we will.
Well, I'll ask you next Monday when your month ends. It doesn't matter. We're just past the middle of the month.
That's right
now. You got a good January going, I'll bet.
It is going strong, and we're expecting a big finish.
Yeah. All right. Well, you've heard it right here, and that's Billy Mullinax. He is the general manager for Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet, 600 Pleasant Grove Road, on the north side of the interstate, over there close to Walmart and Academy Sports.
That's right.
All right. See you next month.
Thank you, Coleman.
Thank you. We are 20 minutes before, 20 and a half, actually, before the 8 o'clock hour. I have asked Cumberland, Phoenix baseball coach Woody Hunt to come and be with us this morning. He is live in studio. And, Coach, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
For a couple of things before we get to baseball this morning. Start out, I want to mention, I guess he was a friend of yours. I knew him a little bit, David Clymer, who was from Lebanon, who wrote sports for the Lebanon Democrat and graduated to the Tennessean and was with the Tennessean for a long time before retiring, has passed away. I think he was a victim of cancer, and I don't know other than that, but I'm sure you remember David.
I do very well. He did some articles in our program in our school, and I just knew he's a local guy. I didn't know him personally real well, but I knew him through the newspaper business and him interviewing us and calling us or whatever. But, yeah, very well known.
Well, there were three of those brothers. Don was a school teacher and an avid fisherman. Terry worked here at the radio station and later went to Channel 5 and then got to edit Hee Haw back in the day and wound up in Los Angeles before coming back here. And Don was the youngest, I believe, and the other two are deceased, but we certainly, David was the youngest. We certainly remember David and his work, and I've heard a lot of good things about him and how he was fair, and I think he was, and certainly a good writer. And remember, he had the UT beat for the Tennessean. He wrote Tennessee sports for a long time. Anyway, we mentioned that. The other thing I wanted to mention was, of course, yesterday's Titans football game. Do you take time out to watch a football game like that, Coach?
Oh yeah, I'm a big Titans fan.
Yeah.
Have been since they've got to Nashville, and they had a great year. Just the Kansas City just probably better, and they played well in the second half.
Well, they did, and I thought the turning point of the game was right at the end of the first half when that Mahomes quarterback should have been tackled 3 times, maybe 4, before he got into the end zone, and that seemed to be the turning point in the game. They got ahead, and Titans couldn't catch up.
Yeah, he's a remarkable athlete and, of course, a great quarterback. And, guys like that just makes things happen, and it's just hard to stop a guy when he's on the roll. And he's just a great, great quarterback. It'll be tough to beat him, but the 49ers have their hands full. But it's going to be a good match.
Yeah, I think so. Did you ever play football?
I played a little peewee football, but not much. But I'm a fan. No, I do like football. I like to watch it. But it's the Titans have, it's one of my teams I root for, and I enjoy watching them every Sunday.
Do you root for the Cincinnati Reds?
Oh, yeah. I'm a big Reds fan.
But we have something in common.
Yeah.
And I've been saying they had to get better. They couldn't be any well. They've had their bad moments, but there are ups and downs in sports. You've had some wonderful years. You've won 3 NAIA World Series and still looking for that 4th. And some years are better than others. So.
Yeah, that's just the way the game is. The game of baseball, you think you may have a good team and something happens, an injury here, a guy doesn't play as well as he thought he was going to play. And But the bottom line, it revolves around pitching, and I think the Cincinnati Reds have got a good pitching staff this year. So it's kind of year to year, basically in this game, and it's a very hard game to predict.
Yeah. Well, now your season usually ends in I guess May. It could maybe extend into June after Memorial Day if you make it to the World Series and stay there a while. But then what do you do in the fall when school starts again? You do do you have any games actually?
Yeah. Well, we have 7 weeks of practice in a weightlifting program, and we also have a JV team, and they play a live schedule. So the varsity will practice, have inter-squad games, weightlifting, conditioning programs. The JV team will practice, have a live schedule, and then they have a scaled down weightlifting program when they get through.
Well, I guess when the second semester starts after the first of the year is when you really get serious for the whole year.
Yeah.
I mean, you're serious all the time, but more serious maybe.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go practice here inside, of course, and for a short practice because it's so cold outside. But yeah, we're wide open, getting ready for the season to start, and it's hard to get that mindset in January, but our players are pretty good, knowing that we got to play pretty soon. In the college season, you have to start early because the season ends so early, and it's just the calendar is just not in our favor, to be honest with you.
How many do you have that you would consider part of your program there, who are really on the baseball team or part of it?
Well, we have around 70, counting the JV team, so it's a lot of players.
Are most of them on some kind of scholarship?
Yeah, partial or some type of scholarship, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Before we got to go to a break quickly here, but how does this year look in 30 seconds? How does this year look?
Well, I think we've improved our team a great deal. I think that everything's going to boil down to pitching, and I think we're deeper there. I do think we have a chance to have a good ball club if we have players that play up to their capability. And that's the key, if they play to their capability, and sometimes that doesn't happen. But if they do, I think we can have a really good ball club.
Okay, Coach Woody Hunt is here from Cumberland Phoenix. We'll take a break and come back with more on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:46. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota and Rental, fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Lampride, Red Max, and Billy Goat, 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They just finished up that wreck on 40 westbound. It was right before you get to Charlotte Pike on 40 going west. Traffic still moving eastbound out in that area where normally it's really heavy this time of the morning. A lot of folks with a day off today. They're moving a crash at Brickchurch Pike at Bellshire and also clearing up a crash in the 6400 block of Eaton's Creek there in Jolton. Princess Hot Chicken is the original hot chicken in Middle Tennessee. Maybe you've heard the name before, you've never tried it. It's worth a drive to 5814 Nolensville Pike. I'm Commander Chuck, you're on time traffic.
You see it in their smile, you read it in their reviews, and you hear it all over town. People love the way they're treated at Wilson County Motors. Honest, upfront pricing, top dollar on every trade, and one of the largest selections of new and pre-owned vehicles around. Wilson County Motors aims to exceed your expectations in every way possible. Get your Mitchell discount at Wilson County Motors in Lebanon, just 20 minutes east of the Nashville Airport. WilsonCountyMotors.com.
Right now is a great time to step up to Exmark, the Mowers Landscape Pros trust 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand for as little as $2,699. Step up to the new Radius, the next great zero-radius turn mower from Exmark, or go all the way up to the Exmark Laser Z, the top of the line for zero-radius turn quality. See your local Exmark dealer for complete pricing and finance details and schedule a free demo today. Stop by Absolute Kubota at 1325 West Main in Lebanon or call 615-449-6171.
Coleman & Company here on this Monday morning. We have Coach Woody Hunt. I think when I mentioned that name, you know who I'm talking about. Been baseball coach at Cumberland almost as long as I've been here at the radio station, I think. What year did you start?
Well, I started as assistant coach in 1977, okay. And then I worked for Mickey England and Dr. Stockton, and then I became the head coach. I was 3 years assistant coach and became the head coach sometime in the early 80s. I get the year confused, but somewhere along in there.
All right, I know you know, and I want to just remember these years. But 3 years you won. In fact, it's on something back here behind our.
Yeah.
We have a Cumberland calendar, but it's hidden from. But 3 years you were the NAIA baseball champions. What were those years?
2004, 2010, and 2014.
4, 10, and 14.
Yeah.
You'd love to have another one, wouldn't you?
Well, that's your goal every year. You know, when you win it once, you want to win it again, and you know it's very difficult to do that. It's tough to getting out there because the competition level is pretty good for the NAIA, and I don't hide that. We'd like to, but it doesn't. It's not the only thing that drives me. But you know, if you don't play to win and win at the highest level, then why get into it?
Yeah, and I think some people call me competitive, and I am. If I'm playing cornhole or tiddlywinks or rook or whatever, I want to win. I mean, I play to win. I may not win. I may fall flat on my face, but at least I tried.
Yeah.
That seems to kind of be what you've always.
Well, a lot of people talk about the development of a person and give them good experiences, and you know the best way I know to do that is strive to win and develop in them a desire to win, to be their best and to be the best part of it, you know, within a team. And if you don't have that desire to win and in the proper perspective, then you can't develop as a person, in my opinion. It's not, why do they keep score? You know, somebody, and whether you're playing baseball or whether you're got a company, you want to be the best company out there, you know.
Well, I appreciate what you said there, because we've just heard about the using electronic means to steal signs, which the Houston Astros have got a lot of unfavorable publicity about, and so have the Boston Red Sox, I think. I don't think there's anything wrong with sitting there and watching somebody and getting an idea of what pitch they're going to throw or whether they've got the steal sign on or whatever. That's all been part of baseball.
Yeah.
But there's a rule against doing that electronically, as I understand.
Yeah, that's just going too far above board. It's just, you know, when you have to develop electronic to steal signs, and, you know, why play the game if you got to go that far? But if I can pick up something that the opponent is doing, or some of my players, you know, can pick it up, and we've done that. We've had players say, look, hey, I've got their signs. We had a catcher in 2010 that knew they could pick up the third base coach's sign real easy, and he did it every time, and he knew when they were going to steal it and all that.
And that's fair and legal.
That's fair and legal.
That's just part of the game.
Yeah, that's right. But when you have to do that electronically, you know, it's not. Not
well, here again, I mean, sometimes we want to win so bad, we do things we're not supposed to do, and I think that's one thing you've been a stickler for, doing it the right way.
Yeah, you have to. You have to present yourself the right way. You got to approach the game. You got to play the game the right way, and you know, we all get carried away at times, but. You know, just play hard, play your best, and play hard to win. And then if you do that, you know, you can live with the results a little bit better. But there's got to be an intense desire inside of a person.
Remember, I had Ron Pavin, who's your, I believe, athletic director, who's been with Cumberland for a good while. I think a really fine man. But out here, and we were talking one time on the air, and I was impressed with him that he didn't want to talk near as much about winning as he wanted to talk about doing things the right way.
Well, Ron likes to win too. He may have talked about it that day, but I can tell you, his goal is to win that commissioner's trophy that they give at the end of the year for the top team in the conference, and we want to do that. But we came, I think, somewhat close last year in third or whatever it was. But you know, Ron wants to do it the right way. He's a very man of integrity. But he wants coaches to do things the right way. He wants the players to do it. But there is that desire in him also to be the best.
Well, Coach Hunt, I want to mention, I just got somebody sent me a little information. It was very little, but you were given the Robert Ish Smith Achievement Award, which is another trophy to hang on the wall or to be acknowledged again. But that's I think that's a nice thing.
Well, the NAIA gives an award named after Robert E. Smith, and it's called the Ish Award because that's his nickname or what he goes by, and all the coaches know him by that. He is one of the old-time members of the NAIA. He's still living. He was there when he gave the award to me, and he represents integrity, achievement. He's just a great role model for all coaches. And, he went on to become a president of his university. He was instrumental in starting USA baseball in the Olympics. He's very well known in international game. He's well known all over the country in our area of baseball. But just a great man and a great honor to get that.
Okay, we started out talking a little bit about this year, and we've veered off several times. But you said you have about 70, including junior varsity, that are really out for baseball. So what have you officially started yet, or?
We started practice only. Yeah, we go to Louisiana on February the 7th to play the first weekend, and hopefully it's warm down there. But
let me interrupt myself again because I just remembered. I don't want to forget this. Mitch Walters has been doing the baseball for quite some time. I remember, I think he worked with Lynn Bogle at one time, but Mitch took it over and has done a great job. Mitch is another person I think is a very fine guy. I remember calling him one morning and probably got him out of bed. I needed a program and wanted to talk Cumberland baseball, and we did it over the telephone.
Yeah.
But anyway, this, I believe, is going to be his last year.
His last year. He's retiring next December, and in fact, we're going to honor him in our auction banquet we're going to have in January the 30th. He's been a great part of our program in the university. He's coached several sports. He's been our compliance officer, assistant AD for years now. And he's decided it's time to retire, and so we're going to thank him and honor him. But he'll go through this year with the radio crew.
And most of your games, maybe not all, but nearly all, are carried here on our station, either on AM and FM or sometimes just AM.
Yeah.
But most of them are here, and they're live where you can pick them up on the internet as well. So you're probably heard all over the country if you've got people scattered around who are affiliated with it.
We have a big listening audience all over the country, and because the reason we know that because people tell us that they either text or call in and whatever, send emails, and I think a lot of it's because of Mitch, and even when Lynn Bogle was doing it, it was because of both of those guys have done a great job, and Mitch has got a unique personality that people can hang on to, and some of the things that he says on the radio are kind of funny, and he knows the history of the baseball program much better than I do. He's kept up all the stats over the years, and so Mitch is one of the reasons why we get a big following on the radio.
I'm not going to interrupt you this time. Tell us about this year, and maybe so you said it's going to boil down to pitching a lot, but you got to have some hitting to go with it. What are you hoping for?
Well, we're hoping to win the conference and get into the first round of the playoffs, and then when you get in the first round, it's anybody's ball game, because it's the first round is a 5-team tournament, and if you get hot, you can win it and go on. Our goal is to get to Lewiston to the national tournament, but we've improved ourselves. Infield is kind of a makeover there. We've added to our pitching staff that's going to give us more depth. And then we've added our outfield is going to be a different outfield. So we got a complete different team on the field probably. There's going to be a couple starters back. But, we feel good about what we're doing. Our guys have got a good attitude. They're working hard, and they anticipate the season. And we're just going to get to the opening day. And we'll probably struggle sometime, but that's part of the season. And then we'll hopefully by April we'll get going and develop a good ball club.
Have injuries had much to do with your success or lack thereof over the years?
Well, last year we had two guys that were starting this year that were injured the whole year. Our first baseman, Mike L. Gordon, and then our second baseman, Nathan Vaughn. They both were hurt and out the whole year. And then we had another player that we dismissed that was a very good hitter for us. So, we lost 3 players from last year. So injuries do take a big toll. And if you get a pitcher hurt, then that's even more so a problem.
Well, no doubt you are somewhat familiar with the competition with that you're going to face, and how does it stack up, please?
Well, our conference is really good in all sports. It's just a good small college NEI conference, and probably one of the strongest in the country in all sports. And we got Campbellsville, Georgetown. We got Cumberland's Kentucky, and I could go on, Lindsey Wilson. All those schools are very strong in all sports. And next year, the conference will get bigger with more teams, so it's going to be even more difficult.
Do you have any local players that we might mention this morning that people might want to come to watch?
Well, we have the Nathan Vaughn kid who's from close by. I forgot the city he was from. We have Chase Ford from Wilson Central, one of our catchers. We have one of our pitchers, Hill. He is one of our top pitchers, and so we're excited about all those guys. There's probably one more that can't, one or two more. We got a roster full of local players.
Coach, you're getting like me. You've known some fine people for a long time, and the older we get, the harder it is for some of them to come to mind.
We got a lot of local players on the team, and we have probably as many this year we've had in a long time. But we feel good about what they can do, and we're counting a lot on them.
Well, I just appreciate you taking time to be with us. I know you're a busy guy. Baseball is at Cumberland is pretty much what drives you, and it's where you're what you're thinking about nearly all the time. You've done a great job. You've come such a long way. I've mentioned during the break here how much your ball field looked different. It looks today than when you came there.
Yeah.
Doubt you even had an outfield fence when you started. No, you've meant a lot to Cumberland, to our community, and I appreciate you wanting to do it the right way. And I just thank you again for coming and being with us this morning.
Well, thank you, and thank you for your friendship and support of our program, and hope it's going to be a good year for us.
Well, I hope too, and maybe we can hang up one more banner, NAIA champions.
That'd be great.
It would, surely would. Well, that's going to do it for this Monday. Again, thanks to Coach Woody Hunt for being my guest, and hope you'll join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. And until then, I wish you a magnificent day.